escape across the skies when I'm with you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. How's your quarantine going? Are you guys staying sane? Are you playing a lot of PlayStation? Are you flying some in your front yard or backyard or up and down the street, annoying your neighbors? Speaking of annoying your neighbors, the 3-inch Cinewhoop form factor, and that's what we're here to talk about today, is Cinewhoops again. We have the VISWHOOP that came out from Eachine, and I feel like Eachine might have just hacked the Cinewhoop format, because for a while we've been flying these 3-inch style format Cinewhoops, and they're great because they can carry a GoPro. They're ultra stable, and I've compared them to like a Navy cruise ship or aircraft carrier. They're very stable, but they're not a good freestyle platform. So they're pretty much a dedicated cinema style whoop with the bumpers on the front, which is nice. The foam bumpers are the new trend, but this little guy is cheaper than all of these here. It's cheaper than the Chasers, the Green Hornet, the Taycan, and the Bumblebee. It's around $250, and it can carry a 360 camera on top, my Insta360, or it can carry a GoPro. So small enough also that when you take this off, it's under 250 grams, and you can freestyle this quad. So it has duality. It can do freestyle or cinema, super rad cinema videos, which is really cool. So we're gonna strap on the Insta360 here. We'll do a little bit of a spec check. We'll go and check out this quad a little bit closer really quickly, and then we're gonna go outside and do some flying with the 360 camera on it, and then I'm gonna show you what it flies like without it, and do a little bit of freestyle with this quad. Best of both worlds with the VISWHOOP. So here we go. Now this is cool, the Eachine VISWHOOP with DJI digital FPV for under 250 grams, and it can carry a GoPro. It has a 4S850 battery compatibility, also a 1300. Wheelbase is 130 millimeters. This guy is little and portable. It has a 3mm bottom carbon plate and 4 prop guards all the way around. They are feeling a little bit cheaper, but this is a smaller, lighter whoop. It has 2 bolts on the bottom plate holding each of those prop guards on. And the strap fits up to about a 4S 1300. That'll give us about 5 minutes flight time. XT30 on the bottom, your Caddx Vista camera right here, and it has a TPU mount with pretty good camera protection from front to the bottom, and the top looks pretty good. We also have the Caddx Vista running on the very top of this stack, and just underneath the Caddx Vista we have the F411 FC. This is also running a burst up to about 15 amp. I was able to run 4S on here. It does also have plug and play motors, so if you break one, you can plug a new one in. And we have Gym Fan 2540 props with 2.5 inch in circumference, 2 bolts on top, and the motors they're running, they're a little bit larger. They're 1204 5000 kV motors, and they are pretty efficient. They have awesome boosts as well, and we have 4 bolts holding each of those motors on. So let's go ahead, get a weigh in, 118 grams, really nice. Now with the freestyle battery of choice would be under 250 grams at 215 grams. That is freaking awesome. So let's go outside now and let's do some flying with the Insta360. This is my 1R camera. This is the sort of my go-to camera of choice this year. Really amazing videos, and check out the body of the quad seems to have disappeared with the way I've mounted it. I mounted it smack dead in the middle of the frame, and if you want to see the entire quad body, the best way to see everything is just to raise it up as high as you can with some GoPro feet. Just raise up those links and get it away from the quad itself. A little bit higher we probably would have been able to see the body, but isn't this cool video? It's kind of neat that we actually don't see the body of the quad. It's kind of a unique perspective, but man, look how good the video looks on this. This is awesome. And again, since I have a 360 view in my studio editor that's free from Insta360, you can change the camera angle all the way around in a 360. You can zoom in and out. You can do that tiny planet shot just like this, which is cool. This kind of like broadens the horizon of a whoop, in my opinion, especially something this small that can carry a GoPro or an Insta360 camera. It's actually kind of amazing, because I think the 1R is a little bit heavier than the GoPro. I have to weigh that one for you guys coming up, but look how vivid the colors look. You can go inside the Insta360 and change the color variations for vivid, standard, and low light, a few other settings in there. It's a very capable camera. Now, the VISWHOOP. This quad surprised me. It is a DJI digital FPV quad coming from Eachine, so it's kind of a one of the cheaper frames out there and components on here, and it's the lower end of the spectrum as far as all the brands go. Eachine is kind of climbing their way up in the ranks though in the last couple years. So the components on here, the motors are quite good. The 1204 motors have a ton of punch, and they're powerful enough on 4S to be able to lift a GoPro or my Insta360 if you decide that you want to fly this quad under 250 grams, pull this camera off there or the GoPro off there and fly it with the Caddx Vista and record in your DJI goggles. The great thing about this quad is that it does have a really awesome tune on here. The tune is very smooth, and even carrying this heavy of a camera, I wasn't able to kind of trip up the flight controller. At the same time, with this much weight on there, I'm flying it more like a straight ahead aerial filming type of rig. I'm not really pushing it for freestyle. I think that on this platform, I can do some pretty amazing stuff like this, but I'm not looking to power loop this with this particular camera on there, because I think it would throw off the flight controller having this much weight on this small of a frame. But it is quite cool that it can get away with being able to carry a camera of this size. And just super smooth. Really fun to fly. And again, having some fun there with direction change and the keyframes in the Insta360 Studio software. It's pretty cool what you can do and bring home with this quad. I think with the GoPro as well, the footage would look amazing. So if you already have a GoPro, just hard mount it to the top. This one has some similar smoothing software in this camera, similar to Hypersmooth, and it smooths everything out. Really, really nice. My neighbor came outside to check it out because we're all quarantined right now, so flying from home is kind of the new big thing. Whoop season's been extended. But let's check out the Caddx camera on here. I want you guys to also get an example in this review of how it flies without a heavy GoPro or Insta360 camera on there. And one thing that I noticed right away was that it's actually really quite comparable to a non-whoop sort of micro brushless type of quad. And on 4S, it's really smooth. I feel like I have plenty of control to my proximity flying in between gaps and things like that. But it just feels really smooth on the sticks. No shutter in this tune. And I love being able to see with the Caddx DJI digital system. And just playing around a little bit. I went after this flight also, and I flew the one of the Parrot. It was a Parrot 4S micro brushless. A little bit smaller than this, but it felt different. It felt more loose, and the tune didn't feel as good and as smooth as this one. So I'm gonna go under the van there because I'm really feeling the tune on here and how smooth it is. And I'm flying in acro right now, but if you're a beginner, you could put this in stability mode and you can have some fun in a small proximity. I also was able to bind this quad up with my DJI transmitter. So guys that bought the big package, the big bundle from DJI with the goggles and the transmitter, it's not hard to link up and get this quad running. I had it running on my DJI transmitter in I guess about 2 minutes time. and the sticks were already set up and everything. You just go inside the goggles and test to see which switch is which, and then in beta flight it's pretty much already hooked up there. So all you have to do is arm it and fly it, and you can add more modes to it as well. You can add stability mode to it, you can add horizon, and I'm really trying to get that chain power loop right there. That's a low power loop, but that's not going to happen today because my skills are a little bit rusty after not flying pretty much every day like I have been doing for the last year. But that was about close enough right there. Now let's see how it handles instability mode, some tree exploration. I always like to show you guys some tree exploration in my videos, and especially if I have a whoop. So this is a fantastic tree to fly around. The Caddx Vista was performing okay today. You can upgrade this one. I believe there's a hack for it. You can get it up to about 1200 milliwatt. Right now I'm running the stock 700, and at times it kind of went in and out, but for the most part I can see way better than any of my analog cameras. And let's go back through. Let's find a spot. Let's find a line through here. Kind of muddying up right there just a little bit, and it cleared up a lot when I came out of the tree. And the horizon looks pretty nice with this camera. Let's just go up a little bit higher so you guys can see the Caddx Vista up high. See, like, this is where you can see the tiniest bit of vibration. And a lot of times when you're flying down low in acro, you won't notice a whole lot of jitter or jello in the video. That means when you see some stutter. And I think it did pretty good. There's only a tiniest hint of jello in this video right here. I'm being super picky. See just a little bit of vibe there. Not bad. Now I'm back in acro. Nice little loop. Back down low to the ground here. So let's go ahead and just try a quick power loop. There's a couple trees over here look like the perfect candidates for a power loop. And the cool thing is that there isn't a lot of washout, and that's traditionally what you can expect with most whoops. But right now we're not flying with any type of sports camera on there, just flying with the stock Vista, and there's a punch out over that big tree and then a hard turn back down to the ground. That's usually where I'll see a flight controller trip up or give me some washout or tumble. It did quite good just then, especially for a whoop style quad. And back around the parking lot right here. Now what's really neat about this quad too is that proximity flying, like close to the ground, low and fast, it feels good. And now I decided to go for one more power loop there and into the ground there, bottomed out. But let's go back into the studio now and let's talk about this quad. My final impression is that I love it with the 850 battery. If you're gonna freestyle it, go for the 850 all day. That'll keep it under 250 grams. And I'm also happy that each of these prop guards survived. They didn't come back broken, which is awesome. I did have some pretty good smackdowns with my 850 battery on there, but you can get above 4 minutes flight time with the 850 too, and that is spectacular for a quad of this size. And I have to say that the Caddx Vista performed as expected. I also tried out the new firmware update that just came out yesterday as well on here, and mine was performing okay, not quite as good as some of the other footage I've seen people post up. They're claiming that it's excellent on the new hack on 1200 milliwatts. So if you want to do that to yours, you can, and you should have some ultimate clean video back to your goggles. Really nice. But I think for the price of this one, it's awesome that it's big enough that it can carry a GoPro or the Insta360 camera on here. When you mount it, just make sure that it's dead center on the frame, and you shouldn't have any problems. This should get you fantastic video, and you guys will bring home probably some of the coolest videos you've ever made. I'm really happy with my Insta360, especially that it's modular. I can take that lens off and put a standard single GoPro style lens on there and shoot 4K, or the 360 video is 5.7K. So it's like the ultimate combo here. Definitely, I'm gonna say about 4.8 stars out of 5. Taking off a couple points for maybe the prop guards. I wish the prop guards were a little bit better, but 2 thumbs up. A very fun experience, and really quite enjoyable because you have the best of both worlds, being able to carry a cinema camera or just freestyle the crap out of this quad. It's super awesome. So guys, you can check out the link for the Insta360 down below if you want to get one for yourself. I'm Justin Davis, guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.